Drinking this honey recipe before bed eliminates the diabetic parasite from your pancreas, resets your insulin, and reverses type 2 inches a matter of days. I understand this might sound too good to be true, but I need you to pay close attention. This is the last time I can share this before they take this video down. Just a 15-second native trick forces your body to flush out this nasty creature and lower your A1C in a few hours. The shocking truth is that 9 out of 10 Americans have type 2 and less than 1% know it. That's because the real culprit of type 2 isn't sugar or carbs. All these Americans are victims of a 1.2-inch parasite that lives latched onto the pancreas, sucking your beta cells and insulin. It acts like a vampire. It drains your beta cells and devours all your insulin before your body can even use it. That is why you feel chronic fatigue, uncontrollable hunger, run to the bathroom at night, and feel that terrifying tingling in your feet. The parasite is stealing your vital energy. The good news? A 2024 study from a Japanese university discovered that this parasite has a fatal weakness, a specific honey ritual mixed with 2 simple ingredients that acts like a natural acid to this creature, but it is completely safe for you. Just 3 minutes after drinking it, it forces the parasite to detach, and you simply flush it out in your urine the next morning. The relief is immediate. Your A1C plummets, and after a few days, it will never go above 4% again. Your vision clears, and your sugar levels will never go above 95 again. Big Pharma is furious and trying to wipe this from the internet, but Dr. Sanjay Gupta just aired a program on 60 Minutes investigating how celebrities and everyday people are reversing type 2 inches record time. This could be your salvation to break free from this prison in 2026. I'm gonna let Sanjay Gupta's program play now.
Tonight, we investigate how Halle Berry, Tom Hanks, Randy Jackson, and several other celebrities are reversing type 2 diabetes using a new method known as the reversal ritual, a simple recipe that costs less than $1 and that, according to experts, activates the same GLP-1 mechanism triggered by Ozempic and Mounjaro, but without injections, without side effects, and up to 3 times more potent when prepared correctly. Here's what really shocked the investigators. People following this morning ritual are reversing their type 2 and getting out of the danger zone before Christmas. No restrictive diets, no exercise, just by performing this remarkably simple routine. Tonight, we're going to uncover the truth behind this. We'll test the method live with Dr. Phil, the doctor famous for fighting Big Pharma, who went viral after demonstrating the full recipe in a short video. But that's not all. Halle Berry claims she used this exact same trick to completely free herself from insulin and medications. And at the end of the show, we will reveal the full, step-by-step recipe that these celebrities follow. To understand how such impressive results are possible, check out this exclusive video Halle Berry sent us.
This reversal ritual is amazing. In just 15 days, my blood sugar dropped from 200 to 110. And by the end of 3 months, I was completely off insulin and my A1C was back to normal. And no, it wasn't those Ozempic pens everyone is thinking about. It was all thanks to this morning ritual I made every single morning. These test results you see on the screen came from this natural method, exactly like Dr. Phil taught me. I just wanted to say thank you because I truly believe everyone should try this before Christmas if they want to get rid of diabetes. It really works. You can see your numbers plummet in just a week. I even shared the tip with a friend of mine, and his blood sugar stabilized at 98 inches 1 week. He is super happy, and he doesn't even exercise or follow a restrictive diet.
It is truly astonishing to imagine that a ritual costing less than $1 could have such a powerful effect, especially when compared to Ozempic and Mounjaro pens. To verify this, we've brought in none other than Dr. Robert Lustig. He is a professor emeritus of endocrinology at the University of California, a New York Times best-selling author, and considered by many to be the world's leading expert on carbohydrates and the dangers of diabetes. Dr. Lustig, with your decades of experience, is this really possible?
Just like you, Sanjay, I am absolutely shocked by these results. And honestly, it is impressive to see how something so simple and inexpensive can deliver transformations like this. Anyone can do this at home. I've been seeing thousands of videos on TikTok and other social media platforms from men and women thanking Phil for this discovery. Everyday people are seeing their glucose drop 50, 80, 100, and even 150 points in just 10 days using this $1 ritual.
I struggled with high blood sugar for years, but this ritual changed the game. In 9 days, my levels stabilized in a way no medication ever could. I'm still processing how something so simple can be so effective. Hey,
Listen up. This stuff actually works. In just 1 week, my levels plummeted. It was insane. My wife looked at the test and said, wait a minute, what did you do? I used to see a bunch of fake stuff on the internet, but this one was real. I need to publicly thank Dr. Phil.
Over 14,789 Americans are already using this recipe today. But listen closely. There is a right way and a wrong way to do this. And most people on the internet are doing it wrong. So stay until the end of the show because Dr. Phil is going to show you the exact method, step by step, with the precise measurements. So don't go anywhere because we are going to hand you the complete, simple recipe so you can make it in your own kitchen today.
Before I show you every detail of this reversal method, I went to speak with the leading diabetes and blood glucose scientist in the entire United States. He is going to explain exactly how this ritual attacks the root cause of diabetes and how it can help you stabilize your glucose in record time without the dangerous side effects of injections.
Hello. Insulin resistance is the toughest enemy to beat if you don't attack the root cause. And this simple ritual is something you can do right now in your own kitchen. It is the key to stabilizing your glucose and reversing type 2 diabetes in record time. We scientists call this the reversal trick, and it is considered 10 times more effective than any synthetic medication like metformin, Ozempic, or Mounjaro. It was discovered by a doctor who spent years studying how this natural ingredient restores pancreas function. By eliminating a hidden parasite that is feeding on your insulin right now. Yes, right now, at this very moment. And what's most impressive is that a group of researchers, along with Dr. Phil, had already presented this natural solution to the public. But the video mysteriously disappeared after the pharmaceutical industry, fearing billions in losses, allegedly paid millions to have it suppressed. He showed how anyone can start truly reversing the disease in just a few days without extreme diets or exhausting exercises. It is completely different from anything you have ever seen or heard about diabetes control. And the best part, thanks to Dr. Phil, we recovered the content of this special video that shows exactly how to prepare this recipe at home. Even celebrities are praising this new formula to get rid of needles quickly and safely.
After I was diagnosed in 2021, my life was never the same. I felt weak, my vision was blurry, I had zero energy, and I knew I needed to change. But with my crazy work schedule and grandkids, I simply couldn't stick to that strict diet or do the exercises my doctor demanded. Thank God I started using this reversal ritual. Honestly, I still can't believe it. It actually works. My blood sugar dropped from 280 to 95 just by doing this. I'm recording this real quick while my grandson is napping because more people deserve to know about this trick, especially with Christmas coming up and us wanting to enjoy meals with the family. If it worked for me, always running around like crazy, it can work for anyone. So, if you're ready to finally understand how this ritual can help you truly reverse diabetes without the suffering, it's time to stop feeling guilty about every bite of food, pricking your fingers every day, or being terrified of losing your vision. Please, show all these people watching right now how to do this properly at home.
Now, for all of you watching who are ready to finally break free from type 2 diabetes naturally, the moment is here. We've secured exclusive access to the full video where Dr. Phil himself teaches you, step by step, exactly how to prepare this ritual right in your own kitchen. Pay close attention. Grab a pen and paper, because what you are about to see could save your life. Go ahead and roll the tape.
Hello there. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Dr. Philip Calvin McGraw. Better known as Dr. Phil, you have probably seen me coming into your living room every single day for 21 seasons on television, or maybe you have even walked past my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I am the author of 9 Hash-owned New York Times bestsellers, including The Ultimate Weight Solution. I hold a PhD in clinical psychology, and I have been inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. But before the cameras and the fame, I founded CSI, Courtroom Sciences Incorporated, where my sole job was to use science to uncover the truth in high-stakes courtrooms when everyone else was lying. I even helped Oprah as a legal consultant. For over 20 years, my mission has been simple: to get people to get real about their lives and their health. I have worked on thousands of cases, from celebrities to ordinary families destroyed by chronic diseases, always searching for one thing: finding what actually works to save a life, not just put a Band-Aid on the problem. I know your doctor has probably told you things like keep taking your meds, stay away from sugar and carbs, stick to your diet, and everything will be fine. That is what the system taught them. That is what Big Pharma preached in every clinic. And for years, I truly believed that was the only way. After all, I trusted traditional medicine. But what happened in my own home to the person I love most, the woman you saw me walk out holding hands with at the end of every show, my wife Robin forced me to question everything I thought I knew. Heart attack, amputations, blindness, Alzheimer's, stroke, cancer, and death. That is what type 2 diabetes does to a person. With all my access to the best doctors in the world, I firmly believe these consequences would never touch the people I love. I was wrong. After years of silently battling fluctuating sugar levels, my wife faced the most terrifying moment of our lives, a direct consequence of this devastating disease, but thank God, she survived. And it wasn't because of the expensive medications or insulin injections that elite doctors prescribed. It was thanks to a simple natural method that didn't just lower her sugar levels, it reversed the symptoms of type 2 diabetes permanently. If you suffer from prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or any glucose-related issue, this is definitely the most important video of your life. Because in the next 4 minutes, I am going to put my 40-year reputation on the line to prove that the true villain behind your high blood sugar is not carbs, sugar, or a lack of exercise, but a hidden parasite living silently in your pancreas, hijacking your metabolism, as proven by recent studies from Cambridge. You and your doctor have probably never heard of this parasite, and that is for 2 reasons. First, this parasite was only recently discovered by independent scientists. Second, Big Pharma, the same giants I battled in courtrooms for years, is fighting tooth and nail to keep this knowledge buried. Why? Because if they don't treat the root cause of your disease, you stay dependent a customer for life. This is a dirty scheme that protects their trillion-dollar profits, while over 6 million Americans die every year from type 2 diabetes complications. They even tried to silence me for revealing this truth on television, but I made a promise to God and to Robin to help as many people as I can in this lifetime. And that is why you are watching this video today. In the next few moments, I am going to show you how to perform the glucose reset ritual, a natural recipe that eliminates this parasite and regulates blood sugar for good. That way, you will be able to naturally stabilize your sugar levels and eat sweets and pasta without fear. Just like these folks.
Thank you so much for sharing your video about diabetes, Dr. Phil. I am so glad I watched it until the end, because thanks to the glucose reset ritual you teach in the video, I managed to stabilize my blood sugar levels, and now I can finally eat whatever I want without any worry.
I am recording this video as a thank you, Dr. Phil, because that glucose reset ritual you taught me helped me drop my blood sugar down to 80, and the best part is, I lost 24 pounds, and now I fit into the same size I wore when I was 27.
Seeing these honest testimonials from real people like you and me fuels my life's mission. It is wonderful to see that all these folks managed to get rid of all those terrible symptoms of type 2 diabetes thanks to the glucose reset ritual. The dry mouth, the tingling in the limbs, the fatigue, that unquenchable thirst, the blurry vision, it all vanished thanks to this simple ritual. These people went back to eating that delicious donut or that apple pie, that chocolate cake for dessert or cheesecake, and that mouth-watering pizza with an ice-cold Coke for dinner. And the best part? They finally went back to enjoying the good side of life without fear or worry, because type 2 diabetes finally became a thing of the past. I know right now you must be thinking, this must be just another gimmick or one of those supplements that never work. I get it. But after years of study and research, this is the only way to truly kill these parasites and restore your blood sugar to the levels God intended for you. So have a little faith and stick with me for just a little longer while we tell you how it all started and how my dear wife lives today, completely free from the shackles of type 2 diabetes.
It all started in 2021 when I began feeling things I had never felt before. I was constantly exhausted, needing midday naps just to function. I started having uncontrollable cravings for sweets, something I never really cared for much. My hands and feet started to tingle.
I have known Robin for 50 years, and I knew those weren't random signs. I took her immediately to get tested, and the results devastated us. She had type 2 diabetes. Her doctor immediately prescribed metformin and insulin and told her what every doctor says. Change your lifestyle.
And that is exactly what we did. No more desserts. No more pasta nights. Our weekend brunches turned into walks in the park. Our nights at our favorite Italian restaurant turned into bland salads at home. Everything I ate made me anxious. Little by little, I started to lose my spark.
Robin was doing everything right. Eating healthy, cutting sugar, monitoring glucose, working out daily, and yet her sugar levels were out of control. The doctors told us she was lucky. If she hadn't been doing all that, she would be worse. But that didn't help. That wasn't a solution.
I felt like my body was betraying me, despite all my efforts. As months turned into years, nothing changed. I lived in constant fear. Fear of eating, fear of the future, fear of going out with friends. I stopped going to events. The joy simply vanished.
And the worst part is, I was supposed to be the expert. I spent my entire life on TV helping millions of people solve their problems, but I couldn't help the person who mattered most in my life. I started to question myself. I questioned everything I stood for, until one day, the unthinkable happened.
We decided to visit our granddaughter in Orlando. We always loved Disney, and we were so excited to take Avery there for the first time. She was finally old enough to understand the magic. That day was supposed to be special, but it ended up becoming the worst day of my life.
We were in line to meet Rapunzel.
Avery's favorite princess. I looked at Phil, and I felt something wasn't right. My skin suddenly went cold and clammy. I could barely speak.
I looked at her and saw her face was pale. Before I could react, Robin collapsed right in front of us. Our granddaughter started crying, screaming, "Grandma is dying. Grandma is dying." I rushed to hold her. I checked her pulse, tried to keep her conscious.
I remember throwing up, and then everything went black.
When she threw up, as a health professional, I knew that was a terrifying sign. We put her in an ambulance and she was rushed to the hospital. Hours later, the ER doctor came to me and confirmed what I feared. It was a minor heart attack. He asked me if she had any health issues. I said yes, type 2 diabetes, but she is doing everything right. Clean diet, no sugar, daily exercise, regular medication. That doctor raised an eyebrow, looked at me and said, "Well, maybe she isn't doing everything she says she is." That comment hit me like a punch to the gut. I knew my wife. I watched her sacrifice everything. But the hard truth is that I had been saying the same thing to my guests and patients for years. Many times people would come to me frustrated saying, "Dr. Phil, I am doing everything you said." And the results wouldn't come. And just like that ER doctor, I didn't believe them. I assumed they were cheating on their diet, that they weren't taking their meds, that they were lying. And now I was living the same nightmare, only this time it wasn't a patient on TV. It was my wife.
I was lying in that hospital bed, feeling guilty for something I couldn't control.
At night, while she slept in the hospital bed, I sat beside her, feeling more helpless than I had ever felt before. I had spent 20 years treating people, giving lectures, writing bestsellers, bringing the truth to millions of Americans through my show, and none of that prepared me to save her. In that moment, sitting in that cold hospital chair, I felt like a fraud. I looked up at the ceiling and whispered a prayer. God, I will do anything, just show me what I missed. Please help me save her. The next morning, something happened that felt like divine intervention. I was in the hospital cafeteria grabbing a coffee when I noticed an older man in the buffet line. He was piling his tray with donuts, muffins, and a caramel latte. I couldn't help but ask, "Aren't you worried about diabetes eating like that?" He smiled and said, "I've been eating like this since I was a boy. Never had any blood sugar problems, and I'm not planning on stopping now." I chuckled politely, but that interaction got me thinking. Why can people like him eat whatever they want and stay healthy, while people like my wife, who do everything right, end up sick, scared, and in the ER? That question lit a fire inside me. So I went back to the hospital room, opened my laptop, and started researching. But deep down, I knew I couldn't do this alone. I needed the help of the best doctor I've known in all these years. I reached out to Dr. Oz. You've probably seen him on TV, but I've known him for over 20 years. As a heart surgeon and professor at Columbia University, he knows every part of the body in a way that no office endocrinologist understands. He took on the role of health administrator. He is the only person I trust to find a solution unlike anything I had ever tried. And in a call that lasted an hour, he understood and promised he would do whatever it took to save my wife's life. And together, we started researching every possible explanation: cellular pathways, immune function, gut health, nutrition, genetics. For weeks, we read late into the night, desperate for answers, until Dr. Oz sent me a message saying he had found research that would change everything. He told me to meet him at the lab, where he would explain every detail.
Then I found a study from Cambridge University that finally made everything make sense.
Cambridge? What did they find? I need to understand every detail.
They studied 100 pairs of siblings, one diabetic, one not. Same genes, same family, same habits, but only one developed type 2 diabetes. The answer was shocking. Every single diabetic individual had a hidden parasite lodged in their pancreas.
Impressive, Oz. What's the name of this parasite? Does it live only in the pancreas?
It's called Erythroma pancreaticum. And this parasite doesn't just live there. It feeds on insulin and attacks the beta cells of the pancreas, the very cells responsible for regulating blood sugar. To confirm this, researchers conducted an experiment with lab mice. They divided the mice into two groups. One group was infected with Erythroma pancreaticum, the other was not. Both groups were fed the same diet and followed the same routine, but the results were clear. The infected mice developed higher blood sugar levels, significant weight gain, and early signs of metabolic dysfunction. Meanwhile, the uninfected mice remained healthy.
So basically, what happens when this parasite enters the pancreas?
First, it settles inside the organ. Second, it starts feeding on insulin and multiplying. As it multiplies, it damages the beta cells, the very cells responsible for producing an essential hormone called GLP-1. Third, with the beta cells compromised, your body stops producing GLP-1 naturally.
And why is GLP-1 so important?
GLP-1 is the body's natural blood sugar stabilizer. It tells the pancreas when to release insulin, slows down sugar absorption, reduces hunger and cravings, and protects the very cells that keep glucose in check.
This was the breakthrough I had been longing for. The reason why people like my wife and probably many of my patients, even with discipline and doing everything right, still couldn't lower their blood sugar wasn't their fault. It was this parasite silently destroying them from the inside, removing GLP-1 from their bodies, and making it nearly impossible to self-regulate blood sugar naturally. And I promised myself I would find a way to eliminate it and give my wife her life back.
And Phil, as soon as I discovered what was really causing type 2 diabetes, the silent parasite inside the pancreas, I realized something else. No traditional medication would ever solve the problem. Worse yet, it was only intensifying the problem.
What do you mean, intensifying?
When you inject insulin or take metformin, you are just feeding the parasite, making it grow and reproduce more and more every single day. Metformin, insulin, cutting carbs, being in the gym 7 days a week, none of those things would work because they were all trying to manage the symptoms. While the root cause, the parasite, was still inside, feeding, and spreading. I knew I needed something different, something that could do what no medication could. Kill the parasite at the source.
After that conversation with Dr. Oz, I knew we had a promise to keep. So I started a new kind of research. We read everything I could find on parasitology, traditional medicine, and herbal remedies. First, we needed to understand how this parasite caused diabetes. So we went back to the lab, but this time with the help of Stanford University's Chief Research Director, Dr. David Sanford, where we got the answers we were looking for after running some tests.
How are you?
How are you? Thank you
Good.
very much for coming. Can I show you around?
We'll follow you.
Fantastic. The problem starts long before the pancreas. Our modern diet, full of pesticides and agrochemicals, has severely weakened our immune system. According to a recent study we conducted at Stanford, these chemicals known to cause thousands of cases of cancer and tumors make us much more vulnerable to bacteria and parasites.
So we are creating fertile ground for them?
Exactly. People with a weaker immune system create the perfect environment for the spread. Their bodies lack the ability to kill the parasite, allowing it to breed, and breed, until their pancreas is completely taken over.
And here is the mechanics of the disaster, Phil. In a person without diabetes, every time you eat carbs or sweets, a cell called a beta cell in the pancreas releases insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin takes that glucose and transports it to our muscles, where it will be used for energy.
But what if the person has the parasite?
If you have the parasite, those beta cells are under constant attack. Most of your insulin becomes food for the parasite. The insulin doesn't reach the bloodstream, and the glucose wanders aimlessly, destroying vital organs like the liver, kidneys, and heart from the inside out, potentially leading to a heart attack or stroke at any moment.
And the vicious cycle gets worse with standard treatment. When you take metformin or inject insulin, part of it helps the glucose, but the other part feeds the parasite, causing it to reproduce even faster.
That explains everything. That's why no matter what my patients eat, whether they take their meds or exercise, their sugar levels never stabilize.
Exactly. But there is a simple way to find out if your diabetes is caused by these parasites. It's a 3-question test you can take at home right now, recommended by Cambridge University itself.
Okay, let's go. What is the first question?
Question number 1. In the last few hours, have you felt very thirsty and needed to urinate more than usual, or felt any tingling in any part of your body? Question number 2. Do you feel very tired, dizzy, or have less energy even after a good night's sleep or a day of light activity? Question number 3. When you wake up on an empty stomach and check your blood sugar, is it almost always above 100 to 120 milligrams per deciliter?
Well, if you answered yes to any of these 3 questions, chances are you have Erythrema pancreaticum inside your pancreas. This also means that beyond diabetes, in the near future, if you don't eliminate it, you could develop other health issues like severe inflammation, infections, incurable syndromes, and even Alzheimer's. Scary, isn't it? This is truly alarming and needs to be taken seriously. The only way to fix this was to kill the parasite and restore your pancreas's ability to produce beta cells again. Oz, after months locked in that lab, turning every piece of research upside down, what did you find?
Phil, after months of research, I assembled a team at Johns Hopkins and studied over 456 species of exotic plants, herbs, and fruits. My goal was to discover 4 natural compounds that would kill the parasite, restore the pancreas, and make insulin production normal. I studied each of these ingredients in detail. After hundreds of attempts to find the perfect combination, we finally found the answer in a place few scientists would dare to look.
Where?
Maybe you've already heard of the famous blue zones. These are just 6 places in the world where people are up to 8 times more likely to reach 100 years old completely healthy than an American. But brace yourself for what I'm about to tell you. After weeks of studying these people's routines, we discovered that one of these zones, called Okinawa in Japan, has the lowest diabetes rates in the entire world, even though they eat pasta, bread, rice, and greasy foods practically every single day.
How much lower?
Just to give you an idea, here in America, out of every 100 people, 36 suffer from high blood sugar levels. In Okinawa, that number drops to just 5 people. So we dove into their routine to understand how they live to be 100 without diabetes. And what we found was incredible. These people consumed a special type of honey cultivated only in that region by local residents.
Honey? But isn't that pure sugar?
I get that it sounds strange. How can honey stabilize blood sugar? But hold on, let me explain. This isn't your average supermarket honey. It's produced by bees that feed on rare flowers in the region, creating a unique compound called active methyl glyoxal, or MGO. This compound goes straight to the root of the problem. It acts like a natural exterminator, wiping out the Erythrema parasite from the pancreas, halting its reproductive cycle, and detoxifying the organ from the inside out.
Incredible. And what else did you find?
The second ingredient is berberine HCl. It was highlighted in the Journal of Nutrition for doing the impossible, regenerating insulin-producing beta cells. But it doesn't stop there. Berberine also strengthens cellular defenses, creating a shield inside your pancreas that prevents it from being reinfected by parasites in the future.
And the third one?
Third, cinnamon bark extract. It's not just a spice, it's a powerhouse. Studies show it stimulates your body to produce more of its own GLP-1, the very same hormone that billion-dollar drugs like Ozempic try to mimic. But the difference is cinnamon does this naturally, safely, and without side effects.
And what would be the last ingredient?
Fourth, resveratrol, found in red grapes. It has the ability to reduce insulin resistance by up to 64%. This means glucose leaves your bloodstream more easily and enters your cells, where it's transformed into pure, clean energy.
It wasn't easy at all. After all, these ingredients had to be imported directly from the island of Okinawa, Japan. But when it comes to my wife's life, impossible doesn't exist. After a few weeks, with the ingredients in hand, Dr. Oz and the team worked tirelessly to create the precise formula. With a small amount of this powerful ingredient combination, we decided to run a practical test. Check this out. We extracted a small amount of parasites from mice diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. We took a bit of the powerful 4-ingredient combination from Okinawa, and with the help of a state-of-the-art microscope, watch what happens when we put the ingredients into action with the parasites. Notice that instantly they start getting agitated, trying in every way to escape the formula. Within 2 minutes, the ingredients are already active. After 5 minutes, these parasites are practically dead. And in just 10 minutes, all of them, without exception, are completely dead. And this was only possible because of the powerful combination of the 4 natural ingredients from Okinawa. So, since the practical test was a true success, we tested different dosages and administration methods until we found the most effective form, a tasty liquid designed for maximum absorption and rapid action. The glucose replenishment ritual was ready. Before giving it to anyone else, I gave it to my wife. She didn't want to try it at first, and honestly, I couldn't blame her. After years of disappointment, diets that left her starving, medications that drained her, workouts that left her exhausted, she was destroyed emotionally and physically. But I looked her in the eyes and said, "This is different. This won't just mask the symptoms, it goes straight to the root cause, the parasite." And better than me talking about her results, see what she has to say.
I hesitated, and then I took the first dose. For the first 3 days, nothing major happened. A little more energy, a lighter mood, but on the 7th day, everything changed. I had a bowl of ice cream, something I hadn't dared to eat in over a year, and instead of my blood sugar spiking like always, it barely moved. We checked multiple times, the same result. My husband was stunned. Over the following months, the numbers kept dropping. 260, 206, 148, 116. Then, one morning, 95. It had been years since we'd seen a number like that. But it wasn't just the numbers. My body transformed. The fatigue disappeared.
Have you been able to contact
the tingling
your
in my
boss?
hands and feet vanished. My skin looked brighter, firmer. My belly shrank. My cravings disappeared. The constant fear that haunted me with every meal was gone, replaced by peace. I started laughing
Now,
again,
I'm gonna tell you
sleeping
something.
through
Listen
the
to
night,
me.
cooking meals I actually
Since I've
enjoyed,
done it in your
living
car.
with energy and joy, as if
Well,
I were 20
when
years
you
younger.
go-
And by
when
the
you
6th
go to
month,
pull off,
I had
it's
lost
gonna want a
33
fishtail to the
pounds.
left. Just
My
count a steer
A1C
to
was
the
at
left a little bit and just keep
5.5%.
moving.
My
You'll go
fasting
right on that
glucose
driveway.
was 90 mg/dL, and I was completely
Be
off
real easy with the
insulin.
throttle.
My diabetes had disappeared.
After that day, I knew I couldn't keep this to myself. I realized the improvement this ritual brought to my wife and how it could help thousands, maybe millions of people. So I contacted a small laboratory to help import the ingredients in larger quantities. But there was a major obstacle in the way, and what I'm about to tell you may sound like a conspiracy theory, but I guarantee you it's backed by historical evidence and scientific data. The real reason this information isn't widely known is deeply rooted in geopolitical history. It's Japan's long-standing silent revenge for the bombing of Hiroshima during World War II. You see, Japanese scientists discovered the potent effects of Okinawa honey decades ago. They realized that these compounds, when properly extracted and combined, could effectively prevent and reverse diabetes. That's why Japan has one of the lowest diabetes rates in the world. Remember? But instead of sharing this information, they decided to keep it secret. Their reasoning? If they couldn't save the lives lost in Hiroshima, they would let America suffer from what they call sweet death, diabetes. They've been guarding this secret meticulously, allowing it to spread only in small, seemingly disconnected studies. That's why you'll find fragments of this information in various articles, but never with the complete information. The Japanese government went so far as to suppress any research that could expose this secret. They created a complex web of misinformation and distraction to keep the world focused on pharmaceutical solutions. It took months of discreet negotiations, international contacts, and we got small quantities that were carefully smuggled as if they were simple spices or common culinary herbs. Dr. Oz and I personally oversaw every step, and with a larger quantity of ingredients on hand, we invited over 2,000 volunteers, real people who had suffered from type 2 diabetes for years. Within a few weeks, all volunteers' glucose levels plummeted, energy returned, clothes fit better, and fear began to disappear. But I didn't stop there. We organized another clinical study with over 6,000 men and women of all ages, backgrounds, and severity levels. They took the same formula, a few drops each morning. The results were beyond anything we imagined. After just 3 months, 96% of them had their blood sugar levels completely stabilized. After 6 months, no spikes, no fluctuations. Many of them were eating pasta, pizza, and even desserts, and still showing better results than in decades. They reported deeper sleep, less stress, fewer joint pains, renewed sex drive, mental clarity, and freedom from the symptoms that used to dominate their lives. I started receiving emails and messages on my social media telling me about the incredible results they were having, like this one from Pamela from Texas.
Thank you so much, Dr. Phil, for not ignoring me when I reached out to you and for letting me participate in this study. Because just 6 weeks after I started using this glucose reset ritual, my glucose dropped from over 300 to 94.
Today, my glucose doesn't go above 100 and my A1C has stabilized at 5.5. The best part? I don't have to eat bland food anymore. I can eat whatever I want and still stay healthy. Thank you so much, Dr. Phil.
For the first time, people didn't tell me thank you for helping me deal with this, but thank you for helping me end this. The problem started when we contacted a larger laboratory to be able to help more people. They said they weren't interested. We managed to record part of the conversation with the owner of one of these pharmaceutical labs.
Our discovery stabilized glucose in 72 hours and reversed type 2 in just 6 months. And it costs a fraction of Ozempic or metformin. We need to get this natural solution to reach more people.
That's not going to happen if it's up to me. The industry already knows about your discovery. And that's exactly why I'm closing the store.
Are you refusing a cure?
I'm protecting my shareholders, Phil. It makes no financial sense to produce something that actually cures people. That would kill billions in our annual revenue. You want to sell a one-time solution? I sell lifetime subscriptions.
You're condemning people to suffering.
I'm being realistic. Just to give you an idea, the annual cost of a patient on Ozempic exceeds $14,000. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars spent for the rest of their lives. Why would I trade that for a cheap cure?
Even knowing that your medications cause vomiting, diarrhea, and destroy their quality of life?
Side effects are just operational details. What matters is that they keep buying. We don't think it's right to lose money. And you're not going to change that.
I don't think it's right for anyone to live like this, being exploited and forced to depend on a system that's as bad as the disease itself. That's why we keep finding ways to bring the glucose reset ritual to people. In the end, we found a reliable laboratory called Cicada Labs, a cutting-edge natural supplement lab based in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Its owner was committed to actually helping people, but all this corruption and lies still interfere with our mission. Our videos showing the true root cause of diabetes and how to treat it with the Okinawa honey ritual have been deleted more than 4 times. I made a post on my Facebook and Instagram talking about these ingredients and the impressive results we had, but they were blocked in less than 24 hours, and it's not hard to imagine who's behind these attacks. In a lecture I gave at Harvard presenting this new formula to large companies seeking more resources to help as many people as possible, I was attacked with threats while still on stage. Okinawa honey eliminates the pancreatic parasite, and the exact combination of 3 other ingredients reverses type 2 diabetes naturally without medications for life. Here are my wife's results. A 1C of 5.5%, fasting blood glucose of 90 milligrams per deciliter, 15 kilos lost and completely off insulin.
Doctor, you can't reveal this publicly. If this formula really cures type 2 diabetes, we're talking about $60 billion lost just in metformin and insulin sales here in the United States per year. They won't let 60 billion evaporate. They'll make this discovery disappear one way or another, and maybe even you are in danger.
The truth is that these powerful people don't want to lose their golden goose. Since the diabetes medication industry moves nearly $70 billion per year, and estimates indicate it will exceed $130 billion by 2034. That's why you've never seen the glucose reset ritual in any newspaper and never heard about it before, because big pharmaceutical companies hide anything that could threaten their interest. It's outrageous that big pharma is only interested in filling their shareholders' pockets while emptying patients' pockets with poorly made solutions. If you're here watching this video today, you're a lucky person, because at any moment it could be blocked again on the internet. That's why I encourage you to stay until the end, because if you don't, you may not find it again. And this wasn't a treatment, it was a turning point. And when I discovered this formula, I knew I needed to share this with the world. The researchers at Cicada Labs and I studied the formula and refined it even further.
We spent months refining this formula from Dr. Phil. We tested 47 suppliers until we achieved the exact level of methyl glyoxal that eliminates the pancreatic parasite. The berberine is 99.8% pure, essential for regenerating beta cells. This is the most potent version we were able to create.
I've been working with this for 18 years. I've never seen such a rigorous protocol. The honey comes from certified hives in Okinawa, hand-harvested twice a year. The cinnamon is extracted from the inner bark, where natural GLP-1 is concentrated. Our tests exceed FDA standards by 300%. It's the safest and most efficient formula I've ever seen.
It took 9 months of testing and refinement to ensure it achieved maximum efficacy in the shortest possible time. And finally, we developed a stable and scientifically validated formula, which was approved with gold standard certification by the FDA. That's when we gathered a group of 190 volunteers who were in a delicate situation with type 2 diabetes. Among them, there were cases of newly diagnosed diabetics and people who had suffered from the disease for years, and all agreed to try our treatment for 6 months. Each of the volunteers received a form to report their results to us weekly. I thought the initial reports would take at least a week to arrive, but what happened next was surprising. After 6 or 7 days, I started receiving calls from study participants telling me that their glucose levels were improving and that they had also started losing weight. They could barely believe what was happening. So I encouraged them to continue taking the formula and monitored their progress closely. When I collected the reports, the results amazed me. The volunteers' average glucose level at the end of the testing period was 91 milligrams per deciliter, and among them were people with 95 and even levels as low as 87. In addition, many also eliminated a significant amount of glucose. Stubborn fat, the kind that surrounds your vital organs. All the people, without exception, who reached the 6-month mark significantly improved their blood test results, reduced blood pressure, improved their cardiovascular health, and even their brain function. In the end, the experience turned out to be a true success for everyone. We finally created a stable formula, ready for the market. We call it Sugar Clean. It is a powerhouse natural solution, scientifically backed and designed to do 2 specific things that no other product in the world can do simultaneously. First, it eradicates the pancreatic parasite, Erythrema pancreaticum, directly at the source. Second, it reactivates your body's natural GLP-1 production, the very same hormone found in injections like Ozempic and Mounjaro. But unlike those synthetic drugs, this formula doesn't force your body into submission. It teaches it to heal. It doesn't suppress your glucose through brute chemical force. It helps your cells communicate again. It requires no needles, no side effect-laden medications, and no endless prescriptions. Just 5 drops with warm water before breakfast, and your body does the rest. Sugar Clean is formulated with ultra-purified, clinically proven ingredients, including Okinawa honey, berberine, turmeric extract, cinnamon bark, resveratrol, and 2 elite probiotic strains, Bifidobacterium brave and Akkermansia mucinifila, the exact bacteria linked to natural leanness. These ingredients were chosen for a reason. Each possesses unique properties. Properties that eliminate parasites, slash insulin resistance, aid in pancreatic repair, and stimulate natural GLP-1 production. Together, they create a 4-phase protocol unlike anything you have ever seen. Phase 1 kills the parasites residing in your pancreas. Phase 2 restores the beta cells in your pancreas, boosting your capacity to produce GLP-1 naturally. Phase 3 naturally regulates blood sugar levels, keeping them stable regardless of what you eat. Phase 4 creates a shield around your pancreas, protecting it from being reinfected by parasites. This isn't just about managing diabetes anymore, it's about breaking free from it. Within the first 2 weeks of using Sugar Clean, the first thing you'll notice is your blood sugar levels dropping consistently, even without making a single change to your diet or exercise routine. Simply by using the formula, your blood sugar begins to normalize within those first few weeks. You will also notice that the exhaustion and heavy fatigue that have shadowed you for so long will vanish. Furthermore, the dizziness, blurry vision, and that prickling numbness in your hands and feet will fade away, never to return. And the best part, you won't need to stuff yourself with pills, starve on restrictive diets, or kill yourself with grueling workouts. All of this happens naturally within the first 2 weeks. As the days go by, you'll see your numbers continue to drop, and those glucose spikes that cause dizziness simply won't bother you anymore. You'll notice that those aches and skin infections, especially around your feet, will finally clear up. And by the time you complete your first 6 months of use, it is highly likely that when you visit your doctor, the news you receive will be that your condition has been completely reversed and that you are finally free from diabetes. At least, that is exactly what happened for 99.2% of the people who started taking Sugar Clean. And the best part is that you don't need to change a thing about your routine or your diet. In fact, your only task is to take 5 drops a day before breakfast and let our formula do all the heavy lifting for you. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman in your 20 seconds or your 80 seconds, whether you've suffered from the disease for years or just a few months. My team and I produced this formula using 100% natural ingredients with 0 contraindications. This means that even if you have allergies or chronic issues, can still benefit from Sugar Clean. Every dose of Sugar Clean is manufactured right here in the USA, in our FDA-registered and GMP-certified facility under extremely sterile, strict, and precise conditions.
I took office as director here at the FDA in 2025, and I simply cannot remain silent any longer. It is heartbreaking to witness so many Americans in their 50 and 60 now facing the devastating complications of type 2 diabetes. The hard truth is that medications like metformin, Ozempic, and Mounjaro may actually be causing pancreatic and liver damage with side effects ranging from severe nausea and diarrhea to lactic acidosis and kidney failure. And what is even more shocking is that Big Pharma has known this for decades, keeping it buried while raking in billions selling drugs that merely mask the symptoms. That is why we are now officially approving and endorsing the solution brought forward by Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, a method designed to eradicate this pancreatic parasite. It is a natural remedy known as Sugar Clean. My team is genuinely excited because this is something anyone can do right from the comfort of their own home. I truly believe Dr. Phil's work will change countless lives and may even earn him a Nobel Prize.
Sugar Clean, safe, non-GMO, contains no stimulants, no toxins, and absolutely nothing habit-forming. So it is truly completely risk-free for anyone. With consistent use, this formula doesn't just reverse high blood sugar levels. It builds a protective shield that stops the parasite from ever coming back, and it drastically slashes the risk of future complications, including pancreatic cancer. About 99.2% of our customers successfully reverse type 2 diabetes using Sugar Clean. And the proof is that every single day, my phone lights up with text messages and Facebook testimonials from people thanking me for creating this formula. Some of them even took part in our challenge and used Sugar Clean for 6 weeks, strictly tracking their glucose levels. Here is what a few of them had to say.
Have to say this, there is definitely a before and after version of Jeff, because Sugar Clean completely changed my life. After 8 years of riding the type 2 diabetes roller coaster, I have finally broken free from this nightmare. Today, even when I eat ice cream, apple pie, and pizza, my glucose never goes above 100, and my A1C is sitting at a perfect 5.6%. I truly believe every diabetic needs Sugar Clean like yesterday.
Out of everyone watching this video, I was definitely the biggest skeptic. I usually doubt everything. The truth is, deep down, a little voice told me I had nothing to lose.
You know what this
Especially since
is.
you offer such a rock-solid guarantee, and seeing so many people who had already managed to reverse type 2 diabetes. Thank God I listened to that voice. Because after I started using Sugar Clean daily, I dropped 24 pounds, and my A1C is now sitting at 5.5%. My doctor told me last week that I am so happy.
As you can plainly see, these are ordinary people who managed to reverse type 2 diabetes. And best of all, alongside them, another 12,000 men and women have already done the exact same thing. But we didn't stop there. By supercharging the formula with powerful spices and natural extracts, Sugar Clean now also supports healthy blood pressure, balanced cholesterol, natural fat burning, and turbocharges your metabolism and insulin sensitivity. If you were to buy separate supplements for each one of these benefits, you would easily spend upward of $276 a month. But today, you get them all in just 5 drops. Currently, because we source rare ingredients directly from the world's top growers and formulate them in small GMP-certified batches, our supply is extremely limited. But my mission is to help as many people as possible with Sugar Clean. That is why my team and I created 3 accessible treatment plans. But before I tell you about our treatment plans, I need to tell you that the smartest investment you can make is to secure the 6-bottle treatment. Why?
Come here.
Because that is exactly the time Sugar Clean needs to completely eradicate every single parasite from your body, heal your pancreas, and bulletproof it so the parasites never return. Of course, you will see results if you follow the treatment for just 2 or 3 months. Your blood sugar levels will drop, your fatigue will vanish, and you will be able to eat whatever you want. But if you stop taking Sugar Clean without finishing the full 6-month protocol, there is a high chance the parasites will continue multiplying in your body and make you sick all over again. Therefore, the best option for your health to completely reverse your type 2 diabetes and never have to worry about these parasites again is to commit to the full 6-month treatment. Now, I need you to think seriously about this. Can you imagine what your life will look like when you are completely free from diabetes? Picture this. Walking into your doctor's office, watching him review your labs and seeing his jaw drop when he realizes you no longer suffer from diabetes. Imagine what your life will be like when you can finally indulge in the foods you love without needing to check your glucose every hour or pop pills around the clock. Think about that deep sense of relief when you finally lay your head on your pillow, simply resting.
Baby, I'm gonna tell you what, I bet he ain't far from closing on 50 pounds.
To enjoy with your family and the people you love, not to mention the savings. After all, you won't need to spend a fortune on doctor visits or medications every single month. You won't need to rush to the hospital, constantly prick your finger, or worry about every single forkful of food you eat. It's going to be incredible, isn't it? And look, today I showed you that living like this is possible. All you need to do is eliminate the parasites. To do that, you need the pure, concentrated extract found in Sugar Clean. Same formula that didn't just change my wife's life and the lives of the first volunteers of this powerful solution. It not only freed nearly 8,000 people from the clutches of type 2 diabetes in the study we conducted with Johns Hopkins, but it has also already helped over 12,000 people reverse diabetes with a 99.2% success rate. Knowing this, I ask you, considering all these benefits, what do you think Sugar Clean should be worth? Look, I understand it's hard to put a price tag on this, but add up everything you've spent on type 2 diabetes since you were diagnosed. I am sure you would be shocked to see the total. After all, diabetes medications aren't cheap, not to mention the whole foods, meal plans, and other expenses that pile up during treatment. A recent study showed that Americans spend an average of $16,000 a year on these things alone. And I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone who has reversed diabetes by taking medications and following conventional treatments. So, considering that Sugar Clean is the only definitive 100% natural solution for type 2 diabetes, it is fair to say this formula could be quite expensive, but my intention here is not to profit from your pain. Besides, I spent years watching my wife fight against type 2 diabetes, and one of the most emotional moments of my life was when she finally managed to reverse this damn disease. Since that day, I have been working to help more people go through that same transformation, and I've already helped many people as I showed you in this video. But now, it's your turn. For that reason, even if Sugar Clean cost $1,000, it would be worth it, because it frees you from type 2 diabetes forever. But you won't need to invest $1,000 to secure your Sugar Clean today. In fact, you will have 3 treatment options. The 60-day supply, it costs just $79 per bottle, plus a small shipping fee. A great starting point. With this, you will see your blood sugar drop and feel more energized. The 90-day supply, it costs just $69 per bottle with free shipping, ideal for lasting change. With this, you will see your fasting glucose plummet. You will feel calmer and be able to eat whatever you want without worrying about your blood pressure. The 180-day supply. Today, the 6-bottle kit, which corresponds to the full treatment, would cost $588. But I made a point to go further. I decided to cover half the cost for you myself. This condition, however, is limited to the first 56 kits, and for that reason, I have asked to limit purchases to 1 kit per person. That's right, 3 of your 6 bottles will be paid for by me, and it is the exact same plan my wife used to completely reverse her diabetes. Now, the 6-bottle kit will appear below. If the price displayed is $294, it means you are still among the first, and there is still time. But if it shows $588, it means the promotional kits have already sold out. Choose your complete kit below and eliminate type 2 diabetes once and for all. For the first 20 people who lock in the 6-bottle bundle today, I am going to do something special. I don't want to just receive a text message or a video telling me how this formula changed your life. I want to shake your hand and meet you in the flesh. You will automatically be entered into a select group where we will pick 1 success story to receive a VIP all expenses paid trip to Dallas. First-class airfare, a 5-star hotel, and private chauffeur service directly to my brand new Merritt Street Media Studios. You will be my guest of honor on my primetime show. And that's not all. I want to bring you up on stage. I want you to tell all of America how you beat type 2 diabetes and reclaimed your life. I want you to be the inspiration this country so desperately needs. Just imagine the look on your friends and family's faces when they see you on national TV, healthy, happy, and free. Exactly like what happened with Sarah from Ohio, who was here just last week.
Dr. Phil, I thought my life was over, but this formula gave me my grandkids back. I haven't taken insulin in 6 months. Thank you for saving me.
That could be you standing here next time, but I can only offer this experience to those who are truly committed. That is why this invitation is exclusive to the first 20 people who lock in the 6-bottle bundle right now. You will also receive a physical copy of my Hashon New York Times bestseller, The Ultimate Weight Solution, personally autographed by me and shipped straight to your door. And to ensure you never suffer a relapse again, I have unlocked my exclusive mini course recorded with Dr. Oz, The End of Insulin Resistance, where we reveal the metabolic secrets that TV networks forbid us from telling you. But as I said, this is valid only for the first 20 people who take action right now and secure the 6-bottle package. With this 6-bottle Sugar Clean plan, you will get all
came up with that only Okinawa, Japan honey has a property in it,
more importantly,
along with 3 or 4 other
every single
herbs
parasite is wiped out and your pancreas is fully shielded, ensuring you are never reinfected by these parasites and are completely free from type 2 diabetes.
This is exactly. People were on Ozempic that did this.
So even though
And in
Sugar
less than
Clean
6
costs
months,
less
the
than
A1C
$1.63
was
a
perfect.
day,
The
I
damn
understand that many
glucose
people
level
might
was
still
less
have
than
that
100.
nagging voice of
You're
doubt in
gonna
their
try
head
this.
saying this sounds too good to be true,
But
and
you're
it
gonna
is
try this.
completely normal for you to feel that way.
It's
That
6
is
months is
exactly why I
like
decided to back Sugar
$279 if you
Clean
act
with a
fast.
rock-solid 60-day guarantee. Yes, you have 2 full months to test drive this formula and see if Sugar Clean is right for you. If you do